So first of you guys know that I'm Luther Ragsdale, and you can always contact me at lutherragsdale.com or platinumrealestate.com. Lutherragsdale.com is my personal website. Anything but that you need as far as education, webinars, boot camps, seminars, everything you can find out about it at my website, lutherragsdale.com. If you want to contact me, phone number, you can call or text 678-855-8203. 678-855-8203. And I know there's people watching us on Facebook, there's people on YouTube. If you're watching this presentation today on YouTube, I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So right now, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss all of my upcoming videos, trainings, and education. If you like this information, hey, give us a thumbs up. Hit that little like button as well, okay? Now, you guys know that I love to train. I always have education for you. We have a real estate masterclass, a real estate investing masterclass. The next one's going to be November 11th, 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. Absolutely free. We're going to talk about investing in real estate. It's going to be right here in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Holiday Inn Hotel. Absolutely free, but you have to register. How do you register? lutherragsdale.com. I am going to cover a lot of great information on how to invest in real estate, how to build wealth by investing in real estate. Everything from single family homes up to multifamily properties, even commercial properties. Now is a good time to invest in real estate. So I want to teach you how to take your wealth building to the next level. Now is the time for you to build wealth. So 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. It is absolutely free. Best investment in this world to help you take your financial situation to the next level. I will teach you how to build wealth as well as generational wealth. Want to learn more? Go to my website, lutherragsdale.com, okay? That's lutherragsdale.com. Also, real estate agents. If you are a licensed real estate agent and if you want one-on-one coaching, maybe you are a real estate agent, and you're saying, hey, I need to take my career to the next level. I want to make more money. I want to close more deals. Or maybe, look, I need coaching. I need help. A lot of people say, who is the coaching for? Coaching isn't just for new agents. Coaching is for any agent. If you want to take your career to the next level, coaching is it. Coaching will help you. All right. So you can find out more about that at platinumrealestate.com or lutherragsdale.com as well. Okay. All right. Now let's jump right in here. We have Miss Tamara Birch with us. She is a partner. She have been just a great asset to our company. Love to have her with us. She is doing an outstanding job. And I talked to Tamara maybe a week or two ago, and I said, Tamara, let's have a webinar on financing, creative financing. Let's talk about not only different financing programs, but let's talk about how a real estate agent can market, how a real estate agent can market and use the program, not just for getting a person pre-approved, but there's a lot of great programs that we can now market to grow our business and to take our business to the next level. And she said, Luther, hey, let's do it. So I'm excited about it. So without any further ado, Miss Tamara Birch. Tamara?
Just making sure. Can you hear me?
Hey, we can hear you. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, Luther. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I just love how you start these meetings because I start my day with gratitude and thankful with prayer because then it just sets up your whole day, your whole how you feel, you're energized. Starting your day with gratitude is just the greatest way to bring happiness throughout your whole day. So I just love that we start our meetings that way. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's how we start. And Tamara, when the market crashed in 2008, and you and I have together been through a lot of these cycles, right? We've been through a lot of these cycles, and so every time I always pray. So yes, indeed.
I think it's a great way. And before we start this class, I just want to kind of say one more thing. This class this master class you're getting ready to do, if you haven't attended his class, you really need to. I mean, I have rental properties myself. So when you send me renters or people who are trying to buy rental property, I'm able to have that conversation with them because I own rental property too. But I'm not only building my retirement off of someone else's dollar, but I am building generational wealth for my children. And Luther's class really helps you get started with that. So what a great class. If you haven't signed up, you definitely should. It's a great class. And I'm one myself doing it as well. So it's great.
Great, great, great. Well, Tamara, what do you have for us today? Let's jump right on in here.
Yeah, let's get started. And we've kind of a little bit touched on some of these things before. Uh-oh, do you have an issue? Uh-oh, I don't see anything on the screen, so I'm just going to keep talking. Hopefully that gets restored here in a second, because I can see it on my PowerPoint that I have. So that's a little, oh, there we go. He's pulling it in. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is a two-parter. Luther and I chatted and came up with a great 3-part series, so we're pretty excited about it. We're going to talk about not only what are these products on just a quick note of what they are, not in depth, but just enough so you can kind of get yourself there. And then I do have, if you need it, you can text me. You see my number at the bottom of the screen. I can send you out what each of these mean as well, a breakdown of each one and a little bit of guidelines for each one. Not for you to be me, but just so you have just a little bit of knowledge, right? A little bit to make you sound great, know what you're doing, that kind of thing. So these products are so great because guess what? Each one I'm going to talk about, people want, no matter where the rate is. They don't care if the rate's 8, 9, 10, 7, 5, 4. They don't care. They still want one of these products. It is not going to deter them from buying. So by you having this in your back pocket, it just raises your ability to do more business. I had an agent, believe it or not, just this last week say, oh my goodness, I turned a loan down that I just figured out you can do. And I'm like, well, why'd you turn your customer down? Well, I went somewhere and they told me it couldn't be done. I'm like, oh, that's super sad. Let's get them back on the phone. So we got them back on the phone, got them approved, and they're out shopping now. And that's a $1.7 million house. So don't let a no be a no with you until it's really a no, right? There's some people we can't do, right? Maybe they got a 490 credit score, whatever the case may be. But what I'm getting to is these alternative programs just opens everything up for you to make even more and to add in your goals. I would add in my goals these particular customers and groups so that you can get additional business throughout the year. So let's touch first on DSCR. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about these 6 different programs real quick. And then Luther and I are going to talk to you about what could you do to market? Did you understand everything we said? And then again, you want some of this information, shoot me out a text. There's my phone number at the bottom. I'm going to send you out some information on each one so that you have it available at your fingertips. DSCR is a debt service coverage ratio. people will still buy investment homes. I am still buying investment homes. I am reaching my goal of where I want to be, and someone else is making that payment on that home for me. Now, of course, I like for the payment to be lower than what I'm receiving, right? But at the same time, I'm looking to build my portfolio at the expense of my renter. So think about it. If you're on this call and you're renting, how much money have you already given to your landlord, right? Okay, so I always say thank you. Thank you for giving that to me, right? And a lot of times rent increases over time. Not always, not saying always, but increases over time. So you are gaining not only additional income in the future, but you're gaining equity in that property. Even if it doesn't accelerate in value, which we all know isn't the case, then you're still getting them paying off your mortgage, and therefore you're left with a property that has nothing that you owe on it, right? So debt service coverage allows someone to buy rental property without proving their income. So I get a lot of calls for this. Maybe they own 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 properties. They no longer qualify for a loan. So debt service is going to let them still buy that property if the rent for the property is high enough to cover that payment, or slightly lower. We've got one where it can go slightly lower. And so that allows them to still buy that property. Okay, so debt service coverage ratio is a great way. That's you working with investors. So I know Luther's going to touch on that when we get to the next screen, but that isn't someone buying one home every 5 years for you. That is someone buying one home maybe every year or every 6 months, right, Luther? What do you think on that?
No, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. You're 100% right. And I think from an agent standpoint, we need to understand the best way to utilize it. So you're right on point.
Yeah. Okay. So when we get to the marketing, we're going to be covering that next. What is a bank statement program? Why are people still buying homes today using a bank statement, right? Maybe they are self-employed. I know I brought this up last time. I closed a customer who only claimed $36,000 in income a year, but had $1 million in their bank account and wanted to buy a big house. So the bank statement program, they had a lot of their business income flowing through there. They're probably self-employed. They have a lot of income flowing, but they have a lot of write-offs, right? Realtors. I've closed bank statement programs for real estate agents and realtors. That is because they might have a lot of write-offs. Their car expense, their buying paper, their marketing, their advertising, whatnot. So a bank statement program allows somebody who has 12 months of bank statements in a row that have income flowing consistently. I don't mean 0 1 month, 200,000 the next month, 0 the next month. I mean consistent. So the bank statement program is going to allow someone to buy a home without having a W-2 or a pay stub, but that we're going to average those bank account statements and allow them to purchase a home and use that as their income. What is the average of that income on that bank statement? Okay. So that is another great program, right? So I'm starting to see a little bit of pattern here, right? Maybe self-employed people. So we'll be touching on that in marketing. We might see, investors touching on that in marketing. So bank statement programs are a great one. The next one, I like this next one, okay? Because it is not just for self-employed, okay? And this is huge for you. So we're going to talk about this one too. It is our stated programs. So stated programs means that we're not going to prove any income. We're not going to look at bank statements. We're not going to look at pay stubs. We're not going to look at W-2s. We're not going to look at any of that information. We're just going to say you have enough in your bank account to buy this home with some reserves, and therefore we're going to give you the loan. You got good credit, house going to appraise. We're just going to give you the loan because you have good credit. You're putting enough down on the home, and that makes you qualify for the property. But I want you guys to pencil this. If you're taking some notes, okay, you've got my number at the bottom. Text me if you want some guidelines. But listen, you need to step outside the box on this stated, and we're going to talk about that because it isn't just self-employed. What is happening today? What is the number one biggest thing it's going on right now? We are seeing a transfer of generational wealth. We are seeing wealth, unbelievable numbers being transferred exponentially, not only today, but over the next probably 10, 20 years. And what is that? That's our parents and our grandparents, unfortunately, but I know they're going to a better place. They're passing away and they're leaving that wealth to their kids and their grandkids. And so the stated program allows those individuals to buy primary homes. Maybe they can't quite afford it, but they want to get one, or they're going to, maybe Airbnb it. We can look at DSCR, or maybe they're looking to buy a vacation home that doesn't fit with DSCR, but a vacation home that they're going to rent out along the water. So I've closed one of those. They make over $360,000 a year on that vacation home, but they are W-2 employees that make less than $100,000. So that program has more than just one way to make that work. And as an agent, you marketing to that, you have more than one way to show your knowledge, your ability to work with additional people. So the stated program, why are they not rate conscious? These individuals aren't rate conscious, right? Because they don't fit into vanilla, right? They're not Fannie, they're not Freddie, they're not FHA, they're not VA, they're not USDA. Do I do all those? Of course I do, but that's not what this training's about. So they just want to get their property, get it going, and they will look at options in the future if rates come down or what have you. They're less concerned. They want to just own that property. And the stated program for a self-employed or non-self-employed of a primary or vacation home makes that available to them. And what do we collect on that? Because the guidelines are so simple, let me give it to you. One bank statement, the appraisal, the title. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. You're going to have good credit. Very good credit. I'm not going into numbers because I have several different programs, but you're going to have to good credit. You're not calling me with a 550, right? So that program is fantastic, and thinking outside the box gets you ahead of everybody else. So always be thinking outside the box of ways we can market this. The next one is a newer program.
Let's do this for 1 second. Let me jump in for 1 second.
Let's pause.
All right, hey, listen, you guys. Let me. I want to ask a quick question. This is to every agent that's on the line today. As a matter of fact, as I see that we have some new agents who just joined us. Welcome. Tamara, give us just a quick one-liner to have us understand the benefits of DSCR, bank statement stated. Let's start with those three.
Okay. And you did say something, so I'm going to preface this. I know that you've got me live on Facebook and live on YouTube, but as you can see down below, I'm only licensed in those particular states. So just want to make sure that I get that out there for you guys. And again, you want some guidelines, you need to text me your name and phone number and information. DSCR is debt service coverage ratio. This is going to be for your investors wanting to build their portfolio where they no longer qualify for a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac conventional loan. They want to add more and more properties to their portfolio, upwards of 20, and they want to get a loan where they don't have to bring their income into play to buy the property. Okay?
So on this one, agents, let's start with DSCR. She said investor loans. Now let's talk from a marketing standpoint, right? Agents, here's a mistake. You don't want to market it. It's great that we have DSCR loans. Tamara knows, like I know, there was days in the past where we didn't have them. So, agent, you don't want to say or market DSCR. your buyer really don't care, right? Your buyer really they don't understand DSCR. But from a marketing standpoint, we can say, contact me today. I have some great creative loans for investors. DSCR, creative financing for investors. See what I'm doing here, agents? DSCR is a very creative way for an investor to buy real estate. Our goal, agents, our goal is to get the client to Tamara. We're not trying to play mortgage person. We're not trying to qualify them for this loan or that loan. Our job is to market, advertise. So social media, email marketing, text messaging. We just want to say, contact me for creative investor loan, right? Tamara, but would you agree? Does that sound good?
Oh, I absolutely agree. And you hit some good points. If you're not on social media, I know we're getting into the little bit of nitty-gritty, here it comes, of marketing these ideas so that you get clients outside the box, right? But you need to be on TikTok, you need to be on Facebook Live, you need to be on YouTube, you need to be on, if you want professionals, you need to be on LinkedIn. You need to be out there engaging. And I know we all sit there and go, oh, I don't want anybody to see me, which my computer's having an issue, or you'd see me. But everybody says that. So just go with it. Just make it happen. Market it, and in about 3 months, you won't even think about it, right, Luther? You're all over the place. You don't even think about it.
I'm thinking about it. And look, Tamara had a good point. DSCR investor loans, that's screaming LinkedIn. That's screaming LinkedIn, right? And she said, you need to be on all of the social media, TikTok, Facebook. Here's another thing, agents. DSCR investor loans. A lot of investors, what? Professionals, what? LinkedIn. See how we're putting that together now. Facebook is great, and I'm not saying don't do Facebook, but Facebook is more casual, fun. LinkedIn is that professional. That's a kind of the focus. That's the hardcore focus. LinkedIn. So investor loans, wonderful for LinkedIn.
Absolutely. And you should be using words like generational wealth. You should be using words of build your portfolio. Build your portfolio, right? Because that is more, you're talking to somebody who is more professional. But you have to understand, professionals want to buy houses as well. I just closed two fourplexes for a dentist. Okay, why? Because that dentist is adding real estate to his portfolio. You have no idea who's going to want to be part of this, and they're from all walks, right? They could be an accountant, they could be a CPA, they could be a dentist, right? But these professionals, they've saved money, they want to buy property and put it in their portfolio for the future, and DSCR lets them do that.
And let me say this here. Help me, Tamara, because you know better than I do, but DSCR, bank statements, stated programs, all of those could be a little investor friendly, or what do you think here with the bank statement and the stated programs? What's our target market for the bank statement and the stated?
Well, see, I think a lot of agents make the mistake of, I'm only going to put a picture of the house I listed. I'm only going to put a picture of a house I sold. I'm only going to put a picture of me shaking the hand of somebody I closed. And that's it. That's what they put up. They need to be, you need to be generating additional business by talking to people that you can help, and different ways to help them. They all of a sudden are looking at you like you are this resource that they want to work with, a professional resource. And bank statement and stated, a lot of times people think that's only for a primary. That's not the case. It is not for investment, but it is for second homes and vacation homes. Buying that home up in the mountains, on the lake, at the ocean, those generate big dollars by doing those Airbnb or using a Verbo system for it, they generate very, very large incomes. And so these people, dentists will want to buy those properties. You think that they might not because they're going to have to manage them. They don't manage them. They hire a company to manage them. They get a portion of the $360,000. They pay their payment with that. And the extra allows them to, guess what? Go buy another property from you, another one. They aren't keeping it and paying their bills with it. These professionals on LinkedIn are taking it and going and buying another one. Just like Luther talks about building generational by having multiple properties. You get the one and you build on the one. And so the stated in the bank statement is going to not only allow them to buy their own primary, but it's going to allow them to buy that vacation home as well that they can do a Verbo on. Okay, big deal. So by you saying, hey, you've been thinking about buying this $1 million vacation home that you're going to use for your vacation and VRBO, and I'm here to help you even if you've been turned down before. Or I'm here to help you and turn that no into a yes. Or I'm here to help you get that property with alternative financing. Give me a call. Let me show you how you can build your portfolio. And it isn't that you can't do it on Facebook and TikTok, and we're not saying that. We're saying know your client, know where they are, right? So you could still put it there, but where you might get more traction on these three, it might come from LinkedIn.
There you go. Remember, Tamara, my personal dentist. He had a house in Florida. We got him here one in Georgia as well. So, another great thing about me and Tamara, we're not just talking the talk, we're also walking the walk. So, hey, listen, you guys, it's working. It can happen to you. All right, Tamara, let's jump to the next one. P&L loan.
So sometimes maybe people don't quite have enough in their bank statement, or they haven't been consistent in their bank statement. They haven't been consistent, or maybe they don't have as much in reserves. A P&L loan means that they are using maybe a CPA or something of that nature, and they now are doing great numbers in the last year, but they haven't filed those tax returns in the last 12 months, right? And so a P&L loan is going to let them buy a property. Will a stated be easier? Of course. And we're not doing rates today, but will a P&L have a better rate? It will, right? So I'm going to look at whatever option is going to be best for your client. I have some people who just flat out say, I just want to give you one bank statement, do an appraisal. Can I close? And the answer is yes. Yes, we can. Let's make it simple, because you have to remember sometimes when these professionals are talking to you, they're only wanting to go look at a couple of homes. Isn't that a blessing? They only want to go look at a couple of homes because they might be running 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 companies. The last person I closed, she was running 5 companies. For her, handing me over one bank statement and going and looking at it was all she wanted to do. Right? Others, they're maybe more organized and they want to give you 12 bank statements. They want to get a little bit of better interest rate. This is just different programs that I discuss with them on which way they want to go, which one is going to fit better with them. But knowing that helps. So this is maybe a self-employed person. Maybe they're only self-employed right at 2 years and their tax returns just look all kinds of ucky, but that business just took right off. Right? It's doing fantastic in the last 12 months, but we haven't filed tax returns, of course, in the last 12 months. Make sense?
And I want to make sure that I don't never want to assume. We got a whole lot of folk on this line. P&L mean profit and loss, right?
Excellent. Yes, very good point. See, sorry.
Yeah. So this is what Tamara's saying. All right. So I own a business. And last year, I filed my taxes, so I have a loss. What Tamara is saying is every month, your business and agents, I teach you this, you should have a profit and loss statement. So Tamara's saying, hey, we can take that profit and loss statement and get you approved through that. So bank statements meaning, hey, show us the bank statements, okay? But now we are saying profit and loss. So basically your CPA or your accountant or some of y'all using brothers and cousins, whoever. But now you have a P&L. That profit and loss is what Tamara can now take to get you approved for the loan. Right, right, Tamara?
That is absolutely correct. Thank you. Absolutely.
Now,
Good job.
now I have a couple of questions here in the chat. You
Okay.
know, as I like the hands raised, can you? I don't know if you're in a situation that where you might can answer it. Can you maybe ask that question, Mr. Ricardo, live or no? Or are you in a situation where you can't answer it? I'll do it for you. I can read what's in the chat here. Okay.
Yes, I can answer. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey man, listen, I love the chat, but chat is limited. I like it when you ask us live to make sure that we get your cover here. Ricardo, ask Samara your question there.
Miss Tamara, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I wanted to know what was the down payment requirement for these different loan options.
DSCR's minimum 20%. Okay, now keep in mind, I might say 20, but your client might need 30. Okay, so this is my bare minimum. Okay, and it goes up from there. What would cause that? They have less perfect credit, something of that nature, then the numbers are going to rise. Bank statement, 10% down and rises from there. You know, you got a low credit score, you're not paying 10, you're paying 20 or 30%. Stated programs, 20%, and they rise from there. P&L loans, 20%, and they rise from there. So why I keep referring back to LinkedIn, and I do mean any type of marketing is fantastic. It gets your name out there, gets the phone calls. But professionals typically have the cash ready to go. They're looking at a $2 million house with you, and let me tell you, they are looking at these houses and going stated because they're self-employed. They have that $400,000, and it's sitting in a bank account, ready to rock and roll. That's a good question.
And Ricardo, excellent
Okay,
question. Let me say this to everybody, including Ricardo. Listen, this could change next week. It could change next month. It could change next year. So what Tamara is saying is what's happening right now. Also, your client could vary one way or another. The higher, the lower, things change. Here's what I want agents to understand, and here's what I want you to remember. We want to market, right, the benefit of the program. We'll let Tamara worry about down payment, interest rates, all that stuff, because it changes. This stuff changes, right? And if you've been at this stuff long, as long as me and Tamara, it's going to change. So, agents, we just want to market and get the person to Tamara. Then Tamara will work her magic with all of the rest of it. That makes sense, Ricardo?
Yes, that makes sense. I appreciate that, Mr. Ragsdale.
Good. But did we answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes.
Good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good. Have another hand up here. Tiana, Miss White. Question.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing today?
Good. So I really love the concept of basically being in the realtor, staying in my lane, and the lender handle the financial issues and the financial scenarios. However, you know, a lot of times when people come to us, they're inquiring about certain basic information, right? Yes. So what's a good script or way to address, what credit score is needed? Because I want to make sure too that I'm vetting people before I send them to Tamara, so that I'm not sending her, you know, people that I could have, you know, been like, oh, this ain't the program for you. Your credit isn't there. So what's the credit score that's needed?
Well, let me
go this. No, broker question. Listen. 100% a excellent question. I hear you. You were saying, Luther, Mr. Broker, Coach, right? You said, what question should I have? What script should I have So I can maybe tell them this program is not for you before I send them to Tamara. Excellent statement, but here's the deal. We're sending everybody to Tamara. We're not
There
going
it
to
is.
No.
say this program is for you.
Yes,
We're
you
not going
are.
to say this
Yes.
program is not for you. We're not going to get in the credit score. Now, Tamara have a real estate Tamara have a mortgage license to get into credit score. Tamara have a mortgage license to say what will or will not work. That's not our job. That's not our lane. Our job is we just want them to contact us through marketing, and then we send them to Tamara. Now, one thing that I love about Tamara, she have a lot of programs. So we may advertise one program, but Tamara then gets them approved for something else. I wish I had $1 for every time I sent Tamara somebody for one program that wasn't best for them. Tamara then put them into something else. Me and Tamara are still win. And here's what I love about Miss Birch. If they need to wait 3 months or 6 months, or if they have credit issues or whatever the case is, Tamara then puts together a plan. I stay in contact. Tamara stay in contact. We work with that client together, and then they close in 3 months or 6 months or 12 months. So we never want to get into what will or won't work on our level as an agent. This is an excellent question. Oh, I'm so glad you're asking this. On our level as an agent, all we're doing is handshake to Tamara. That's it. And then Tamara runs her magic. And then from there, we all put together a plan and it's win-win. Here's another thing. I wish I had another $1. I would be rich. I wish I had another $1 for how other mortgage companies said a person was not approved, gave them to Tamara, and then Tamara said, no, they are approved, and vice versa. There's companies who have said this person was gold, gave them a pre-approval letter, and then Tamara says, no, they got they have 6 months, they got 3 months. So I say that to say, if we as real estate agents start saying what is and what is not approved, right? And if we're wrong, we have messed up all credibility with that client when that client goes to a Tamara Birch and Tamara says that agent was 100% wrong. You can buy the world. Then they're never dealing with us again, right? Tiana, all we're doing, send them straight to Tamara, and you guys, it's a numbers game. 100% of them will never get approved. 100% of them will never get turned down. It's a numbers game. Make sense? Tiana, did they help you?
Yes. I had mute myself, but yes.
It helps, Tamara?
Luther is dead on. The reason why is just like he said, I would rather, and I don't say no. I do not use the words no. I use not today, but we can, 2 months from now. And
Yes.
Here is exactly what I want you to do. And I send them a report and say, this is everything I want you to do. If you do all this, we should have the score that we need to turn that into a yes.
That's
and
right.
So by doing that, not only do I put my name on that borrower, I put your name on that borrower,
Yes.
and then they receive information from me on a weekly basis that has your name. So don't not send them to me, especially if you belong to my Agent Advantage, which we've done that class before. If you want to belong to that, you're welcome to email or text me and I'll get you set up, because that's got so much marketing in it. This person a lot of times disappears. We don't want them to disappear. By them getting to me, they're not going to disappear. We're going to be touching them constantly.
Yes, Tiana, excellent question. And one more thing, and then we're going to move on. Tiana, I pretty much know the rates and the guidelines and the credit scores and all that stuff. And Tamara will tell you, I call her anyway to bounce it off of her because this stuff changes so much. And I never want to think nothing. Now, I don't never tell the client, but I'm thinking, and I'm constantly calling Tamara just to confirm what I'm thinking is correct, because this stuff changes so much That's why Tamara makes her money, and that's why she do what she do. Okay. Excellent question. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Miss Lisa, please unmute yourself. Let's talk. Lisa?
Yes. Can you
Yeah,
hear
you
me?
have your hand up. Yes. Yes,
All
yes.
right.
Question,
I think,
comment. What do you have for me?
I think I may have a two-part question.
Okay.
I put a question in the text saying, when interest rates decrease, can people get a lower interest rate? Not only that, if we run into an investor that has an interest rate higher, can we send them to Tamara and maybe she can refinance? I know she's a loan originator, but do you refinance as well for investors that may be in properties that may have a higher interest and they're looking for something lower?
Well, that is a great question. So the refinance part is an absolute yes. But sometimes you're missing a piece. You're missing a great piece that we were going to talk about in marketing, and they will take equity out of their rental property. So I will refi those, cash them out either through a DSCR or a regular loan, and I will give them more money, and they will then go buy more property, which then gives you another sale. So don't leave those on the table. Sometimes if they have, 10 properties and one of them's paid for, they're reaching out to me to get 200,000 or 300,000 so that they can take that and buy 3 or 4 houses or a duplex or whatever the case may be with you. So absolutely, we're about growing that wealth, and they let someone else pay it off, take that money, let them pay it off again, take that money, go buy some more. Right? Interest rate, you talked about, can they get a lower rate? I believe is what you were saying. Can they lower their rate? Yes, over time, could we see rates fall? We're not going to go, nobody has the magic bullet. Luther talks about all the time. We don't know if they're going up, they're going down, they're moving. But when they do go down, could they refinance? Yes, they could absolutely do a refinance of any program that we offer. I hope that answered that.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, and thank you very much.
And let me say this too. This is to everybody under the sound of my voice right now. This is another thing that I want you guys to learn. One thing that I love about Tamara is, she's a vice president, so she's not a loan officer. She didn't just get her license last week or last month, and she didn't get it before within the recently. So I say all of that to say this. I always teach you guys, Tamara is the money. So what I do myself, anything dealing with Tamara, anything dealing with money, send it to Tamara. Refi, yes. Buying, multifamily, residential, single family, whatever, send it to Tamara, because she's been in the business for so long. She can do it, or she can tell you who to go to. And if she forwards you to somebody else, it's a good, reputable, quality person, right? So everything goes through Tamara. So refi, absolutely, she can do it. Send it to her, and then she'll get it worked out on your behalf. Okay. Excellent question. Excellent question. I have another question here in the chat. I would love for you to ask this live to make sure I get it right, because your boy will mess it up if I just are you free to where you can maybe ask this one live, or are you tied up maybe?
No, I am not tied up. Thank you so much for
hey, ask it live. Nice question in the chat, but shoot this one to Tamara live, please.
So, Tamara, I know we talk about alternative financing, but my question is, and I've been asked this before, so let me ask you, if a person has a repossession or car repossession on their credit, can they be approved for a home loan?
Yes, there are lots of guidelines for each program available. So each program has its own different guidelines. But generically, I'm going to say yes. We have to look at which program would they fit based on when it was, how it's being reported, etc. So just because they had one doesn't mean that's a no. Same thing with a foreclosure. Just because they had a foreclosure doesn't mean they can't buy a home. There are programs available that's still going to get them into a home. We just need to look at the overall picture to determine what that is. And maybe I don't say yes today, maybe I say 3 months, 6 months, but then we know where we're going based on that information.
So
Okay?
that, I guess the last question to that would be, how long after a repossession can they even look into trying to get a home loan? Because I just spoke to this gentleman about last week, and he's actually letting them repossess a car as of last week, because he ended up having to buy another, which is a crazy story, but just to find out if he's able to actually buy from the repossession of the car that he's letting them come back and get.
Most programs are going to be a minimum of 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Tony, can I say this? And this is something that I want everybody, you know, to that I've learned about the business. Once you send it to Tamara, she said it best. There's a lot of different programs out there, and there's new ones popping up all the time, right? And some of the current programs, they go away, right? So one of the things that I've learned for us to be successful agents is shoot that stuff to Tamara and let her work her magic. Make sense? And Tony, it's even better if you contact Tamara before he does the repossession.
Yes.
So it's funny.
Let's strategize beforehand. Why do a repossession and possibly delay the house when maybe we can do the house and then the repossession?
Because
right, yeah.
So I'll explain. So what he did was he bought another car.
Okay.
And so he's letting this car go back. It's such a crazy scenario. He's like $100 different from the car that he's letting go back because he felt like he's paying too much for it. Had been paying on that car for 2 years and decided to go because someone told him the car that he was paying for was too much. And I was trying to find alternatives for him to be able to either sell that car where it wouldn't go on his credit, but because he owed so much on it, he did go to several places, but he still had to bring a lump sum to them to be able to have it where it wouldn't hit him and go on his credit.
But listen to me, Tony. Listen to me. Tony, listen to your boy. Listen to me. Ready. Everybody listen to me. You ready? Listen to your boy. You said you trying to find out alternative and what she doing, not doing up and look, just shoot that stuff to Tamara. What I do, Tamara will tell you. Look, I was in my kitchen yesterday talking about one of my friends. And I just said, Tamara, what about this and this? And then Tamara said yes and no, and he's on title and not on title. Tamara, you know what I'm talking about? He on title and not on title and And I said, cool. I didn't go and talk to him. I'm talking to Tamara. Here's what everybody should learn. Tony, don't try to work out creative finance and alternative. You send that stuff to Tamara. She's the professional. She have been doing this longer than me and you put together. She have been doing mortgages longer than everybody on this webinar. That's what she do, right? All we do, we take that client, we send that thing straight to Tamara. Now, Tamara may say repossess the car, don't repossess the car. It's $100 more, $100 less, all that stuff. We a real estate agent. That ain't what we do, right? But that's exactly what Tamara does. And then Tamara can give quality advice. And let me tell you one thing I love about Tamara. She's not just about the financing. She will consult that person and help that person over and above real estate. She will say, here's the different scenarios, and it's $100 more or $100 less or whatever. She can help that person. Tony, the best thing for us to do and the best return on investment for our time, send that stuff to Tamara.
So I'm texting him now. Hopefully he not had
there
the
you
contract.
Go. There you go. Look.
So I want to make sure I connect him with Tamara so that we can get a win-win situation going.
Hey, if nobody else got their money worth, Tony, you got your money worth off this webinar today. Look, TamaraBirch.com, 770-916-1234. TamaraBirch.com. You text him that right now. TamaraBirch.com, 770-916-1234. That's it.
Well,
And
and
Tony, I want my tip for the webinar. I'm messing with you. I'm just kidding with you. I'm just kidding. But I know Tony got her money's worth for sure.
well, and sometimes people get very bad advice from friends and family,
Ooh.
right? And
Ooh.
we need to make sure that they understand the advice that they just took. Do you really
right.
understand what you're about ready to do
That's
is
right.
going to impact you for 10 years? Do you understand that?
That's
And
right.
sometimes just having that conversation with them that I can't tell you how many times people go, I wish I'd have known. I wish
That's
somebody would have just explained something to me. I wish somebody would have given me 10 minutes of their time.
That's right.
And I'm always willing to do that. So sometimes we can prevent a true tragedy from happening because someone gave them very bad advice.
Yes.
Very.
Yes. Tony, thank you for that question. I think you helped everybody on the line. All right. Okay. Let's do all right. I have a couple more questions, but let's push through really quick.
Well, and what we talked about too was this is going to be a 3-parter, but now it's looking like a 4-parter.
That's right.
which
That's right.
Which is good news. But Luther,
right.
if we could go actually to the one below the ITIN,
Okay.
and I want to bring that one up. I probably should have had it under DSCR.
Okay.
I have a lot of investors pulling cash out of their properties, and maybe they're sitting at 3 or 4%, or maybe they own a home. They want to pull the cash out. They want to go buy another home. HELOCs are allowing them to do that. We do have HELOCs. But we have one step farther than primary HELOCs. We have vacation home HELOCs and we have investor HELOCs, which means they're pulling money out of an investment home on a HELOC. So, those are available. So basically, if you're marketing yourself on that, you're marketing to people, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube. You want to work with investors, and that, are you making your current investment properties work for you? Are you maximizing the ability on these properties? So a lot of times I'll hear from people, I don't want to play with my investment property. It's at 3%. Right? Well, the HELOC solves that problem. It leaves the big, huge balance at the 3%. They take a HELOC for the smaller amount, and they can then turn that buying power into going and buying more property with it, right? Because you always want to be using that tenant, their money, to buy more and grow your portfolio. And the HELOC helps investors do that without having to look at touching their first loan. Okay. So it's a great way to do that. And I have so many HELOCs, I'm not covering it. I got so many HELOC programs. It's crazy. So different programs for each and various situations with that. This really quickly on this, ITIN, that's people who are not here on a visa. They're not here maybe they're using their identification number with the IRS. They're filing tax returns, but they don't have a social security card. That if you speak Spanish, you speak Portuguese, those programs are great. They're going to increase your business exponentially. And so I'm not going to get into buy downs at all, although they are just on fire right now. I think we'll touch base and do part 2. And in part 2, I want to cover these again, but just slightly, but spend more time on marketing pieces. I think we covered a little bit here, but I think we've got so much more to share between me and Luther. What do you think, Luther?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I'm with you. We're going to have part 2, 3, 4 before this is all over. It might end up being part 5. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Let me see it. I have a question here, Whitney. I want to answer your question. Can you ask the question live? Let's see if she's available. Are you available possibly? Because if not, I'll ask it for her. Whitney?
Well, and sometimes I hear, Tamara, I didn't want to bother you.
I understand. Well, okay. All right. Well, here's the question. Here's the question. Okay. How long do trade lines take to work?
That's a good question, actually. So it depends on the trade line. Okay. Everybody knows that revolving trade lines don't have the same point power as an installment loan, as a mortgage. So they weigh more the for each section, right? So typically you can see credit cards really start to work 6 months to a year. Installment and car and houses, they start working, typically 3 months or 6 months. But if you pay off a car, you are going to hurt your credit. Okay, so that's why a lot of times I tell people, please do not trade in that car until I have your credit report, because once you do, you stopped the installment that you've had and you've been paying for years, and now that is going to decrease your credit score. So it will affect them. These are the types of conversations I have with your clients, which means I'm really having longer conversations with them than just you're approved or you're not approved. What is our strategy to get there? How can we get there? Right? We want them to reach their goal, and their goal is to own their own property. That's what it is. They want their own house.
Absolutely, absolutely. Whitney, thank you for your question. Tony, let's unmute you again. Tony, I have another question. What's your question there, Tony?
So I dealt with someone about a year and a half ago. He couldn't get approved for a loan because he hadn't paid his taxes. And on all of these that I see right here, is any one of these loans that he can utilize without having to show that he had not paid his taxes, although he makes the money to be able to get a home loan?
We don't collect tax returns on any of these, number one. And number two, I would have told that person to get in a repayment plan if that's their concern. Stop the bleed, get into a repayment plan, and look at getting a home in 3 months.
Okay, so none of these require taxes.
No, we don't collect tax returns on any of those.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
And hey, and she's like, yes, but listen, I think that really confirms my teaching, which is what? Just send them to Tamara.
Tamara, yes.
Send them to Tamara and let her work it out. She said he could do any of these.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you've had clients where someone's told them and they're self-employed and they can't get a loan, it might be time to retouch those, retake a look at those. And I've had some people say, well, they couldn't get a loan because their credit score for FHA wasn't 640. Our credit score for FHA is 560, with 10% down. So, what is the overall picture of the borrower? Are you going to get 100% program with a 560? No, you are not. No. What is the overall picture? But we're seeing, remember we talked about marketing to people who are now getting assets from people who have passed, right? So I closed a 564 credit score because they had inherited $60,000. And so grandma had passed, they got $60,000, and they were smart. They used the money to buy a home. Where a lot of people, that $60,000, do you know what time frame that money's gone? Less than 12 months, and they don't have it anymore. By them putting it into a property, they're now building their situation, and it's all going to get, turn around for them. So watch those instances. We're going to see that more and more and more.
Well, this was a bank statement loan that he had tried to do with another company, and they told him the reason why they couldn't get him approved because he had not filed his taxes. And so that's why I want to make sure before let me not do that. Instead of me sitting before I send them over to you, just send them over to you and find the other alternatives.
Right. Because you have to remember, maybe I look at it and it doesn't look like a bank statement. Maybe it looks like a stated, right? So there's different programs and different ways to make this work for your borrowers. And we have to take a look at each. And when you see bank statement, a lot of you might think bank statement as one program like FHA, right? No. Bank statement has like 30 different types of bank statement programs. So sometimes one person might not fit in one, but they fit in another one. And sometimes I might have to sit there and look at a picture because there are 30 different programs and decide which one they're going to fit into because they are not all equal, not even close.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, you guys. Hey, listen. Really, really quick. You guys know what I love to always do. Please rank this webinar. You know, Tamara and I, we always try to work for that perfect 5 score, 5 being perfect at the top. Please rank this webinar. Did you learn something today? That poll is open while you guys complete that poll. If you are watching this on YouTube, please click that little subscribe button. I think that subscribe button is probably right over here. Please click that subscribe button. If you like what you're hearing, please also like as well. Hit that bell and you'll always get all of my new videos that I publish. Is I have about 3 new videos every single week, and I want to make sure that you get every one of them. So please subscribe as well. Also, Miss Tamara Birch, 770-916-1234. Reach out and contact her. And her website, tamarabirch.com. Tamara, any final statements, final thoughts there?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we've got several parts to this, talking about different programs and talking about marketing. So what we're going to do is, now that we've kind of touched base on all of this, we're going to then talk more in depth on marketing of each one on the next part 2 of this. So I hope all of you join for that when we set that one up. It's going to be great. But again, you have questions, you have concerns, you don't need to wait till then. Give me a call, text me, or email me. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks so much for your time as always.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for attending, and to contact me, LutherRagsdale.com, for my upcoming webinars, my masterclass. You want to attend my real estate investing masterclass. Maybe you would like for me to coach you. Whatever it is, contact me at LutherRagsdale.com or PlatinumRealEstate.com. All right. Thank you once again. You guys know that we do this every single week. Look forward to seeing you really, really soon. May God bless you, and thank you for everything. See you soon. Bye-bye.